All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. I'm going to go a little bit. I'm going to give you pretty much the Cliff Notes version of what's going on. I'm about sick of the mainstream news media, probably like you are, and then I'm going to actually go into extremely great detail over on my Patreon channel and tell the people what's going on, and then not only that, what you need to do, steps you should take in order to be able to prosper yourself and your family, to know how to navigate what's going on, because it's obvious that the news media and the president and the House and the Congress, they're playing WWE with us. That's exactly what they're doing, playing WWE with us. Okay, so if you're not part of my Patreon, you may want to look at the description in below of this particular video or the previous ones, and may want to consider coming over and becoming a patron. All right, so watch this. We are allegedly, quote unquote, at war with Iran, right? Okay, all right. Now, over the years, we can string together a bunch of stuff, and we can spin the narrative of what we think it is and what it was, the reason why, what is the prelude of the reason why that we trumped up charges to go over there, blase, blase, blase. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all the truth here, because I've been doing my own little due diligence and investigation here for the last couple of weeks, and these are the conclusions I've come to after I can't even say, I like to say, not listening to the mainstream news media. Because watch this, you can tell a lie just by withholding the truth. If you withhold the truth and you're speaking around in circles of what the hell's really going on, you're basically lying. So the American people have been told Iran is this wicked government. They do this and do that. Ain't no more wicked in the United States of America. But anyway, they'll tell you that all that, right? And they done this and they done this, and they, of course, the sideshow is they cannot have nuclear capabilities. Why not? Every other country got them. Even Korea, North Korea has them. Why not? All because of Israel sitting there, right? And that's what they're telling you. Truth is, this is an economic war. It has nothing to do with Iran developing a nuclear weapon. It has nothing to do with the story they put out in front. Anytime the president and the news media lead with that type of story out front, you know you need to start looking behind the scenes, because they're flat out lying to us. This is the economic war, and I'm gonna show you what my research has gathered and what it's told me. So some of this stuff I'm gonna talk about, most of you don't know about, because some of you wasn't even born. Even though I was born, I was too young to comprehend it, to understand it. It wasn't until later on in my years that I end up start paying attention to social, political, economic, and religious perspectives and point of view. And I came to a conclusion, sure did. So in 1970, when Richard Nixon was the president of the United States of America, we made a deal with Saudi Arabia after we got off the gold standard. Because see, the American dollar was pegged to the gold standard. All right? Somewhere along in there, 70, 75, 85, 95, 205, 115. Yeah, somewhere along in there, between 70 and 75, something like that, right? And so the world's reserve currency is all pegged. It's the U.S. dollar. Everybody do all their training, all their trading, all their buying in the U.S. dollar. Listen to me, you're gonna find out real quick. I'm gonna give you the answer. I'm gonna show you what's going on. So, America signed I forget who that guy was. I'll think of his name again. But America signed a deal with Saudi Arabia, a 50-year deal with Saudi Arabia. You know, we'll get to buy you oil on the cheap, and we'll give you weapons and protection. 50-year deal. So I said, okay. That thing expired in, I think, June of 2024. Saudi Arabia just decided that they're not going to renew that deal 50 years later. All right. So what's happening? Just like you see everybody else, everybody's starting to move away from the dollar. And what we got is a bunch of mental gymnastics and political as well as economic posturing going on. And then all of a sudden, the big deal now is the Strait of Hormuz. Well, what happened to the nuclear weapons and weapons of mass destruction and all this other crap of bull that we've been sold for the last 2 or 3 decades, and ain't none of it true? We're going over here killing innocent civilians, bombing countries and tearing up their infrastructures, all because of money, or whatever you want to call it, or the lack thereof. Because when Saudi Arabia made that deal with the United States of America, the only thing they had backing it up was the word of America. That's all the dollar is. The petrodollar is based on the word of the United States of America. Then we get to, they get to buy our treasuries, our bonds, and all this other stuff in order to try to keep themselves economically stable. And I'm telling you, everybody's losing confidence in this wicked country called America, because what we're doing, man, we're sending our soldiers not over to fight a legit war, as if somebody has attacked us or something, or somebody's really done something bad to us. It's all about lining the pockets of the rich. That's what we're doing. So we're over in Iran right now economically because Saudi went straight to China. And when they went to China, China gave them a deal. Then Saudi came back to America and said, this is the deal that China gave us. So, you know what American side do? Oh, okay, that's good. I'm going to choke y'all ass out. So, you know what we do? Iran is going to stop the flow of oil on one side of the Strait of Hormuz. And guess what? We're going to get on the other side and make sure it's not flowing this side. So we want to choke everybody out, because look, what's happening right now? Gas prices go up. All prices go up in every aspect. Transportation, commodities, everything you can think of. Prices go up everywhere. And people are what they say, people are hurting. Well, I mean, just make some adjustments and stuff and prepare yourself for stuff like this so that you won't have to suffer at the hands of these coffers out here, because this war is not a legit war. This war is all about money, economics. It's all about trying to keep the petrodollar pumped up while we continue to keep trying to borrow money. Then also, what else is going on? Oh, hey, China, we need for you to go ahead and make some more bombs, because, China's making everything. You need to make some more bombs and go in on overtime for them. You need to make a hell of a lot more than what you're making right now. So come on, let's roll with it. Make some bombs for us. Make some bombs for us. That's what you need to be doing, China. Let's get it. Get it going now. Well, China's not making no more bombs, don't look like. And America, the payload is suffering. It's suffering because we use so many bombs over there in Iran, a whole bunch of them, spending all this money moving troops to a place that they ain't gonna even go and fight, looks like. What is really going on? Well, I'll talk a little bit more about this over on my Patreon channel, go in a little bit more detail, but you know me, Pastor Dowell, I usually tell you what you should be doing or need to be doing. I'm not under illusion, because most people are not going to do it anyway. They're going to soak themselves with information and they're going to remain stagnant. But that's okay. At least a few will be able to hear and deliver themselves. That's my hope. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. But this is not a legit war. This is an economic war. That's exactly what it is. All of them have been. It's all about the money. Y'all blessed day.